Welcome to History Recapped. In this episode, we're taking you through over 1,000 years of one of the most powerful civilizations in human history, the Roman Empire. From a humble settlement to a sprawling empire that shaped law, language, warfare, and religion across 3 continents, this is the complete story of Rome's rise and fall, all in one video. Part 1. Rome's legendary beginnings. The story begins in 753 BCE, according to legend, when Romulus and Remus, twin sons of Mars, the god of war, were abandoned and raised by a she-wolf. Romulus later killed Remus and founded the city of Rome. Early Rome was a monarchy ruled by kings, some Roman, others of Etruscan origin. These kings built temples, roads, and early defenses, laying the groundwork for the city's future. In 509 BCE, the Romans overthrew their final king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, and vowed never to be ruled by monarchy again. This marked the birth of the Roman Republic, a system of checks and balances with consuls, senators, and popular assemblies. But the Republic was far from stable. Part 2. The Republic builds an empire. Rome's early republic was defined by class struggles between the patricians, nobility, and plebeians, commoners. These internal tensions led to political reforms like the creation of the tribune of the plebs, the voice of the people. Meanwhile, Rome began expanding. First, it conquered nearby Latin and Etruscan cities. Then, through a series of Samnite wars, it gained control over the central and southern Italian peninsula. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome had transformed from a city-state into a regional powerhouse, but a far bigger challenge loomed: Carthage, a wealthy maritime empire in North Africa. For Part 3, the Punic Wars and Mediterranean dominance. The Punic Wars, from 264 to 146 BCE, were a series of 3 titanic struggles between Rome and Carthage. The most famous was the Second Punic War, when the brilliant Carthaginian general Hannibal crossed the Alps with elephants and nearly destroyed the Roman army. He won several stunning victories, including at Cannae, one of the most devastating defeats in Roman history. But Rome endured. Under generals like Scipio Africanus, it regrouped and defeated Hannibal at Zama in 202 BCE. The final Punic War ended with Carthage's complete destruction. Rome now dominated the western Mediterranean, controlling Spain, Sicily, North Africa, and much of Greece. Part 4. Republic in Crisis. Rome's military conquests brought unimaginable wealth, but also deep inequality. Huge estates called latifundia displaced small farmers, slaves flooded the economy, and urban unemployment soared. The Senate, now corrupt and self-serving, resisted reform. Populist leaders like the Gracchi brothers tried to redistribute land and address poverty. Both were assassinated, setting the stage for political violence. The Republic became a playground for powerful generals. Marius reformed the army, Sulla marched on Rome, and finally, Julius Caesar would end the Republic for good. Caesar, after conquering Gaul, defied the Senate by crossing the Rubicon River in 49 BCE. He defeated his rival Pompey, was declared dictator for life, and began a series of ambitious reforms. In 44 BCE, Caesar was assassinated on the Ides of March by senators trying to restore the Republic. But it was already too late. Part 5. The Birth of the Empire. Caesar's death sparked another civil war. His heir Octavian defeated Mark Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. In 27 BCE, Octavian was given the title Augustus, becoming the first emperor of Rome. Though he maintained the appearance of republican rule, all real power rested with him. This began the Roman Empire. Under Augustus, Rome saw sweeping reforms: a standing army and civil service, taxation overhaul, and infrastructure projects, including roads and aqueducts. This was the start of the Pax Romana, 200 years of relative peace and prosperity. Part 6. Rome at its height. The empire flourished under emperors like Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Aurelius. At its height, around 117 CE, Rome stretched from Britain to Mesopotamia, encompassing over 60 million people. Key features of Rome's greatness included engineering marvels like roads and aqueducts, a complex legal code, common currency, vast trade networks, and a relatively tolerant cultural environment. But even at its peak, problems brewed beneath the surface. Part 7. Decline and division. By the 3rd century CE, the empire was in chaos. Rome faced plagues that wiped out huge populations, invasions by Germanic tribes and Persians, inflation, economic collapse, and frequent civil wars. Emperors came and went in months. In 285 CE, Diocletian split the empire into eastern and western halves to make it more manageable. Later, Constantine legalized Christianity and founded a new capital in the east, Constantinople. Christianity grew from a persecuted sect to the dominant religion, changing Roman culture and politics forever. Part 8. The Fall of the West. As the Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, continued, the West crumbled. The Western Empire could no longer defend its borders. Germanic tribes, including the Visigoths, Vandals, Franks, and Ostrogoths, invaded relentlessly. In 410 CE, Rome was sacked by the Visigoths. In 455, again by the Vandals. And finally, in 476 CE, the last Roman emperor of the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. This marked the end of the Western Roman Empire. The East, however, would live on for another 1,000 years. The Roman Empire didn't fall overnight. It evolved, fractured, and transformed, leaving behind a legacy that shaped the modern world. From roads and law to Christianity and architecture, we still walk in Rome's shadow. Thanks for watching History Recapped. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, which empire should we explore next?